Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight at this Women in Formation event. My name is Emma Keane, and I am very fortunate tonight to be sharing with you my story to the Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games. My road to Birmingham 2022 started 17 years ago when I picked up a squash racket for the first time. If you had told a 9-year-old me that I would one day be making history as Bermuda's first female squash player to represent Bermuda at the Commonwealth Games, I honestly don't know what I would have said to you. I think I probably would have screamed. Getting the news that I was going to be the first female squash player to represent Bermuda at the Commonwealth Games was a feeling that I don't think I will ever be able to explain, or a feeling that will ever be replicated for the rest of my life. It was a phone call that I was not expecting, and a phone call that came completely out of the blue on one Monday at about 2 p.m. UK time, and the tears came on pretty quickly. It was something that I had been working towards for probably the past year and a half, if not 2 years, in terms of conditioning, extra fitness sessions, and just hoping that by some shadow of a chance that I would be selected and eligible to go. And to have all of those pieces come together in the way that they did to make it possible for me to attend and compete is just a dream come true of epic proportions. For those of you who know a little bit about the squash world, you will know that we were not yet an Olympic sport. So the Commonwealth Games is the pinnacle and as high as it gets. So to be able to say that I've competed at that level is pretty special. And it is an honor that I will not forget anytime soon. In the lead up to the Commonwealth, I was very fortunate to have support from my coach at home, Micah Franklin, as well as a coach here, Ben Ford, who I'd been working with over summer. And ramping up training to that level was something that I had anticipated needing, but not something that I was entirely mentally or physically prepared for. The final 6 weeks of preparation were probably the hardest and most intensive training block that I have ever completed in my entire life. And coming out the other side of it, I can only wish I would have done more. It was a brilliant 6 weeks of training. I learned so much, both on the court and off the court, about my physical game, my mental game, and all the pillars of squash that go into what produces an effective and efficient and a dangerous squash game to put towards a competitor. The final stages of Commonwealth preparation were also very special, getting to meet all the other talented athletes that we were taking as part of our team, meeting the support staff, the physios, everybody who would be there to cheer us on, to fly the Bermuda flag. It was an incredibly special feeling, and I was really, really honored to be a part of it and to be included in that group of people who have dedicated so much of their life to sport, so much of their life to ensuring that Bermuda sport is on every map there is, and it was truly a special experience. My overall experience of the Commonwealth Games was unfortunately slightly bittersweet, as I suffered a serious injury to my ankle during my first match, which caused me to withdraw from the remainder of the competition. Having that diagnosis from the physicians and the physios and the radiologists was news that felt like the worst possible outcome of the competition. I had been so lucky in 17 years of squash to have never suffered an injury like that, and to have it come at such an integral time in my sporting career, at such an opportunity, was just heartbreaking. I have never withdrawn from a competition prior to this, and I do think that as much as the experience was horrendous and it was hugely difficult to process mentally, it was such a lesson, and in many ways I'm grateful for that, as it's given me such an incredible understanding of the importance of recovery, the importance of rehab, the importance of following every single piece of advice that your physio gives you, regardless of whether you think it's useful for your program. Honestly, I find it difficult to put into words the feeling of having to withdraw from the remainder of the games. I want to say the hugest heartfelt thanks to Danielle Shepherd at Apex Physio for taking such incredible care of me following the injury, and to Micah Franklin for sitting by my side whilst I cried many tears about having to withdraw, and to the rest of the Bermuda support team who were so brilliant in reassuring me that I had earned my place at the Commonwealth, and regardless of the outcome of the match and the injury, I still had very much deserved to be there. I have been very fortunate to develop a strong friendship with other female squash players from other nations, and I definitely think that having that experience of women in sport in such a positive and competitive environment from a young age has been so useful in training, in understanding of where women sit in sport. And it's events like tonight that make me so proud to be a part of that and give me so much hope for the future, that these steps are being taken, the messages are being put out there, these things are being heard. And every day that we continue to share stories, to share experiences, and put out positivity and strength for women's sport, it's all going to be progress. Thank you so much to the Bermuda Olympic Association and Women in Sport for allowing me to share my story, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I can't wait to see some of you when I'm next in Bermuda.